Connacht get the win away from home in Cape Town against the Stormers. What a win for Connacht. Without some of their good players like Bundi Haki and Finlay Beelum touring to Cape Town, a very tough place to win rugby games. Going there, looking like they honestly weren't going to win the game for some patches in that game, but going there and beating the Stormers in Cape Town. One of the top 2 teams in the URC, going there and beating them. What a win for this Connacht team. And honestly, it just shows the character that this team has. I've always thought this Connacht team just looks like a group that gels well together. They're never disjointed. They're always playing good rugby. And to be honest, this Connacht team right now looks like when they do make the playoffs, if they do make the playoffs, they could be a very tough team to beat. And they are fine to go play away from home. They'll be fine if they don't play at home for the playoffs, because looking at where they are, they probably won't get a home playoff spot if you look at where the other teams are on 47 points and 51 points. But that being said, this Connacht team can go almost to any team and actually put up a challenge. They showed that today. Very good performance from them. But Stormers, what a disappointing game for them. To be honest, I'm not taking anything away from Connacht because they played a really good game. They stuck in there, they fought till the end, and we'll kind of dissect their performance. But we have to talk about the Stormers right now. The way they started the season as probably the best team in the competition, looking like they were by far the best team, looking like one of the best club teams in the world, playing some outstanding rugby, to where they are now. They look disjointed, bad decision making, trying to play from areas of the field that just doesn't make sense at professional level, especially when they play at home. I almost feel like it's a bit of a curse for the Stormers team playing at home, because when they play away from home, they play some good rugby. They look really well connected and less disjointed. They have a lot more cohesion. They play better rugby. If you think about the Toulon game last week, as soon as they step foot in Cape Town, it's almost like they're playing for the crowd, trying to impress the crowd, doing weird things that just never happens when they play away from home. So the Stormers team has to go back to the drawing board, and that's probably the 4th time I've said that they have to go back to the drawing board in the last month and a half. So the Stormers team right now is in a bit of a crisis mode, and it's crazy to say because they are second on the table, and I think they'll probably stay second after this week. I think them and Leinster are tied. I don't know if this is updated yet, but still, they are on a home playoff spot. But that being said, they just don't look like a team that could make it past the quarterfinals right now. Stormers right now, the way they are playing, I think any team in the top 8 that does qualify, that plays the Stormers in Cape Town, they'll probably take that and say, okay, well, that's a good opportunity with the way they're playing. And I mean, I'm a South African fan, and it's just really weird to see some of these incredible players and this incredible team and franchise playing the way they are playing. It's very weird to me, because from where they started the season, it's definitely not a coaching thing, because you can see the way they are coached is the way they played against Toulon. It's when these guys step onto the field, there's key to certain players, like key players in key positions. Not naming names, but there's players that are just making silly mistakes at silly times of the game. And it's not even one specific player. It's most of the players in the team. And it's just players that are just making silly mistakes. Players look disjointed from each other. There's a lack of cohesion. And I don't know how they're going to fix this, especially right now, because it just seems like the Stormers went from going on an upward trend to now every single week they're just going slowly on a downward trend. And it sucks to see, because they're a very good rugby team. And I mean, if you look at some of the players, Wandasile Simelane, Sasha Ngomazulu, Damian Willemse, who I do not think is a wing, by the way. Let me know in your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think he is a wing? I think he's a fullback or a 12. I mean, Damian Willemse probably is the future Springbok inside centre when Damian De Alindi and Esthuizen retire. He probably could play there with Fassi at fullback or other guys at fullback. Or he's a fullback. He plays for the Springboks in the starting lineup at fullback. At least give him an opportunity to play there for the Stormers. You can see when he works off his wing, when he gets hands on the ball, he's a much better player. He's got a good boot, and he's just not a wing. So hopefully they can figure that out there. I know they're trying to play with all the players they have, but maybe they just have to sacrifice some of their bigger players in the backline to get their best players in their best positions, or at least move guys around so that you can have a kind of axis of Sasha Ngomazulu and Damian Willemse, not wasting Damian Willemse away on the wing. But that's just what I think. Maybe a bit of a rant there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but I just think play the guys in their best positions. And to be honest, when you play leadership players, the guys that are leaders for the international team in those key leadership positions, then a lot of things just work out by themselves. So yeah, it's not nice to see a player like him so far off the ball and playing in a position where there's other guys playing in his position that maybe aren't making the right decisions compared to what he would make. But that being said, Storm is very disappointing. I mean, the crowd was absolutely silenced at the end. For a very long period in that game, it looked like the Stormers were the better team in the game. It looked like they were going to comfortably stroll to a win. But we all saw it did not end up that way. But if you look at the stats for this game, it was a very close game. First of all, Connacht took the opportunities with the chip and chase. Good offload, good timing on that. Try under the poles. Next up, a very well-timed interception at a very key moment. moment. That was a really sneaky interception. I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. That's what made it a good interception. Scoring under the post again to get the lead and really seal the game. When that happened, I was absolutely shocked. I saw the first try. I was like, okay, Stormers are probably going to come back. Boom, second try at the end of the game. No way back. And it's crazy to me because if you think of some of the things that happened in the game, Stormers scoring a great try with Sasha and Ngomazulu, a good individual try. They let in a try in the next minute after that. What is that kind of mindset right now with the Stormers? Normally after you score a try, you have to make sure you clear your lines, get the ball as far downfield or put it out to just kill any momentum that the other team's going to have, because after a home team scores a try, the opposing team, the opposition team is always going to be desperate to try get that try back. And a team like Connacht, these Irish teams, these good teams like the Bulls and the Lions and all these other really good teams, Glasgow, they're going to do the same thing. When you score against them, they're going to be so desperate because it kind of hurts their pride to be scored on, that they are going to push so hard to try score a try. And the fact that the Stormers just looked like they didn't care, well, not that they didn't care, they just let their guard down for a bit. Connacht with an easy, quick try. I mean, how demoralizing is that for a team to work so hard through all the phases like the Stormers did? Because Connacht had really gritty defense today. They were very tough to break down. For them to be work that hard to score a try, just for Connacht to score a try in the next minute thereafter, really easy. That's a bit of a blow to the team. It's a blow to the morale of the team. And I mean, you can't have that going forward, especially to a quarterfinal. But that just shows the mentality of this Connacht team as well. I know I'm saying how disappointing the Stormers' performance was. I'm not a Stormers fan at all. It's just disappointing seeing where they started to where they are right now. The kind of mindset and just simple, common mistakes that they're making. Schoolboy mistakes. Mistakes that looks like they don't care. I know they do care, but the uncoachable things. This is why I think it's not a coaching thing. The uncoachable things like being aware at all times, making sure you clear the lines early, working hard off the ball, are things that the Stormers are struggling with right now. So it's not looking like the best Stormers squad at all. Can they fix it? Yes. Will they make the playoffs? Yes. Do they have an opportunity to win the tournament? Absolutely yes. But they need to fix these things right now. But looking at the stats, especially on the attack profile of things, it was very close. I mean, let me just see some of these stats here. So the attacking profile basically looks like this with a little rectangle, and you can see there's no difference between them. And if you look at the defense profile, I'll actually include a clip here. You can see there was a few differences. That's how you can kind of see how differences were made in the game, where the difference was made. And just looking at the defense profile, I'll actually pop it up here on the screen. Stormers made a lot more dominant tackles than Connacht. Connacht allowed more offloads. So Stormers actually did better in this game of stopping the momentum of Connacht, getting more offloads in their tackles, but they just weren't able to capitalize on those opportunities. Connacht had more tackle turnovers though. They won more turnovers, and they were quite even for tackles missed and tackles made. So dominant tackles, Stormers with 1, Connacht with 0. Tackles made 120 for Connacht, 109 for Stormers. Tackles missed 18 to 16, Stormers with 18 tackles missed. That's a lot of tackles missed. Turnovers won, 6 turnovers won for Connacht, and we know some of those turnovers ended up being really key turnovers. 3 turnovers for the Stormers. Connacht did really well at the breakdown to make sure those Stormers fetchers could not get any ball. I mean, Dion Fourie, Paul de Villiers, those guys are absolutely ruthless over the ball. But I thought the Connacht forward pack did really well today of just mitigating that risk and being really present at the breakdown, cleaning very hard and very fair as well. So I think Connacht is a very well-disciplined team when it comes to those fundamentals of technique, when it comes to rucking over, being there, being the first player at the ruck to make sure they don't even get an opportunity to try steal your ball. So I think Connacht did that really well today. Average ruck speed 4.5 seconds for the Stormers, 4 seconds for Connacht. So a lot quicker ruck speed today for Connacht, and you can see how that helped throughout the game. Looking at some of the big individual performances on attack, Sasha Ngomazulu with 14 points, Sean Norton with 7 points, Ivan Roos with 16 carries. I mean, Ivan Roos has been phenomenal every single week this season. He definitely deserves a Springbok call-up. 16 carries for him. Shane Bolton with 13 carries for Connacht. He actually went to high school in South Africa. I think he went to Alderaan. If you do know Shane Bolton, or if you know the Connacht team, please fact check me on that one. I think he went to Alderaan because I think my cousin did go to school with him, but he's a very good player. He's one I've seen for a long time. I think he went to the Cheetahs after school and then he went over to Ireland. He's a phenomenal rugby player and he just showed that again today. I mean, he does a lot of good things on the field. He's very physical as well. He's a very high quality rugby player. Seamus Hurley-Langton with 11 carries, Ben Murphy with 9 kicks, Sasha with 8 kicks, and Warwick Galant with 6 kicks. looking at some of the meters carried, the most meters carried in the game by Ivan Roos with 55 meters carried. I mean, this guy deserves a Springbok call-up 100%. Even if he's not in the starting lineup or on the bench this year, get him in, give him a few games. Let's see how he goes. He's doing so much better with his battle stats. He's all over. I was kind of watching him for 5 minutes. He gets off the ground quick. His work rate's really high. Ivan Roos has really been impressing me. Line breaks, John Devine, 2 line breaks for him. Offloads, Skara and Tabeni with 2 offloads, and one of those offloads we know was a try assist. Skara and Tabeni's last game, a Stormers legend. I mean, I've been watching this guy for years now. I remember when he was still playing with Brian Abana and Juan de Jong and those guys, so that's how you know he really is a Stormers legend. He was playing with Scott Berger. He kind of came through the ranks with Sia Khaleesi and those guys. So Skara and Tabeni, congrats on an incredible career. But yeah, very good game for him to end off. But it's unfortunate that they couldn't get the win for him. Defenders beaten. Sasha Ngomazulu with 4 defenders beaten. And Sasha Ngomazulu had a pretty decent game today. I mean, he's good with ball in hand. He's a very good ball carrier. I can't wait to see him in a Springbok jersey again to see what he can do behind a dominant forward pack with some other players that maybe take the pressure off of him trying to do everything as well. So that'll be interesting to see. Ivan Roos with 3 defenders beaten, once again showing that he deserves to be in the Springbok squad, and Shane Bolton with 3 defenders beaten. So overall, some good individual performances, but overall for the Stormers, a terrible performance for them. Not terrible in the fact that they were competitive, but terrible in the fact that they just did some silly mistakes that actually lost them this game. To be honest, I don't think Connacht will leave this game thinking, oh, they dominated that game. I think Connacht will leave this game knowing they didn't get lucky, but they took the opportunities well, and it worked out very well today. And Stormers will leave this game thinking they should have won that game, they could have won that game, and they let themselves down. So that's my overall review of the game, my instant reaction to this game. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And if you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. A lot more rugby content coming up. We've got who's the strongest Springboks team right now, who's the strongest Ireland team right now. I'm going to do that for all the Nations Championship teams. A bit of a power rankings for all the countries, kind of ranking every single position, seeing who is the best from number 1 to 5. So if you do enjoy international rugby, hang around. URC team of the weeks, Champions Cups coming up. If you guys do enjoy all that content, hang around and subscribe to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.